Good evening, everyone. I'm your host Yashasvi Gupta with your daily roundup of legal updates from across the country. For detailed reading, you can always visit on our website and please make sure to watch this video till the end. On the sixth day of the hearing of the presidential reference, the Supreme Court orally observed that certain instances of delay in granting assent to bills cannot justify the laying down of a blanket timeline for the governors and the president to act as per the Articles 200 and 201 of the Constitution. If there are individual cases of delay, the aggrieved parties can approach the court to seek relief, and the court may direct that the decision should be taken within a time limit. However, it cannot mean that the court should lay down a general timeline for the actions of the governor and the president. The court verbally said this. The court pointed out that the Constitution has specifically provided for flexibility by saying that the bills be returned as soon as possible without specifying any time limits. A five-judge bench comprising Chief Justice of India B.R. Gavai, Justice Suryakant, Justice Vikram Nath, Justice P.S. Narasimha and Justice A.S. Chandurkar was hearing the arguments of senior advocate Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, representing the state of Tamil Nadu, who supported the timeline of 3 months fixed by a two-judge bench in the Tamil Nadu governor case. Singhvi submitted that the timelines were necessary in the view of the repeated instances of governors withholding bills indefinitely. The matter is listed again tomorrow for hearing. Stay tuned. The central government informed the Delhi High Court that steps shall be taken to constitute the authority as well as frame rules and regulations under the newly passed Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Act 2025. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta told the bench of Chief Justice D.K. Upadhyay and Justice Tushar Rao Gedela that although the act has received presidential assent, it has not yet been notified. The court was hearing a plea by Bagheera Carom Private Limited, a company which has developed Carom as esports. The company has challenged the act as arbitrary and vague and seeks reading down of prohibition laid under Section 5, the definitions of online money game, and esports under Section 2 of the Act. The bench noted that rules and regulations are necessary for the Act's implementation and questioned if an enactment could be challenged merely on presumption of future action. Further, Tushar Mehta emphasized that the government supports esports but flagged the risk of online money gaming like addiction and suicides. The matter will now be listed after 8 weeks. The Supreme Court is hearing a plea by United Insurance Company challenging an NCDRC order directing it to pay over 82 lakhs to Rajasthan Royals for cricketer S. Sreesanth's non-participation in IPL 2012 due to injury. A bench of Justices Vikram Nath and Sandeep Mehta adjourned the matter yesterday to allow the insurer to file additional documents, including Sreesanth's fitness certificates. The dispute arose after Rajasthan Royals obtained a special contingency insurance for player loss of fee cover worth 8.70 crore in March 2012. In terms thereof, the appellant was liable to pay the respondent for any loss of the monies paid or payable to the contracted players due to their non-appearance in the tournament. On the very day the policy commenced, Sreesanth suffered a knee injury during practice, rendering him unfit for the tournament. The franchisee claimed 82.8 lakh under the policy. While a surveyor supported the claim as a sudden and unforeseen event, the insurer repudiated it, citing non-disclosure of Sreesanth's pre-existing toe injury. During the hearing, senior advocate Neeraj Kishan Kaul argued for the franchisee that the toe injury had no impact on Sreesanth's ability to play, and it was the knee injury during the policy period that caused his exclusion. Aggrieved, the respondent approached the National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission, where they impugned order the commission held in favor of the respondent and directed the appellant to pay the insured sum. Challenging the commission's order, the appellant approached the Supreme Court. The Delhi High Court dismissed the bail pleas filed by Umar Khalid, Sharjeel Imam and 7 other accused in the 2020 Delhi riots. A division bench of Justice Naveen Chawla and Justice Shailendra Kaur pronounced a verdict. All the accused persons challenged orders passed by the trial court denying them bail in the case. During the hearing, Umar Khalid, represented through senior advocate Trideep Pius, had submitted that merely being on WhatsApp groups without sending any message is no criminality. Accused Khalid Saifi, represented through senior advocate Rebecca Johns, submitted that can UAPA on the basis of innocuous messages or prosecution's attempt to make stories out of such messages? Can it become a reason to deny me bail, or is it even a ground to prosecute me under UAPA? Sharjeel Imam submitted that he is completely disconnected from all the co-accused persons and is not a part of any kind of conspiracy or conspiracy meetings as alleged by the Delhi police. Whereas Solicitor General of India Tushar Mehta, appearing for the Delhi police, opposed the bail plea, saying if you are doing something against the nation, then you better be in jail till you are acquitted or convicted. The Punjab and Haryana High Court has refused to pass any orders as of now on a PIL seeking directions to both the states for immediately providing minimum standards of relief and rehabilitation to flood victims under Section 12 of the Disaster Management Act, including food, potable water, sanitation, shelter, lighting, medical care, etc. A bench of Chief Justice Sheen Lago and Justice Yashveer Singh Rathore observed that issuing directions at this stage would only divert officials' energies from relief work to filing replies. During the hearing, the petitioners' counsel submitted that the state is duty-bound to rehabilitate the victims, but at ground level, relief has not been provided to the flood victims. The plea sought for the constitution of a court-monitored oversight committee to supervise implementation and file periodic reports, and also sought directions to the Punjab government to conduct a special Girdavari of all affected villages and disburse compensation to agriculturalists, households, small traders, and livestock owners in a time-bound manner. It sought directions to the union government together with NDMA, CWC, BBMB, IMD to activate and disclose emergency action plans for Pong and Bhakra reservoirs under the Dam Safety Act 2021.